Business with a servant's heart. Welcome to the podcast. Inspiration, motivation takes. Listen to the podcast. We're all about to talk about life. Our guests will share their life story. We want you to success in life and business. We're ready and we will start shortly. We're gonna talk about life. We're going to speak on business. You're gonna shine bright. We are going to witness. Business with a servant's heart. With hosts Steve Ramona and Ray. Inspiration, education talks. Listen to the podcast. Steve Ramona.
Welcome, everyone, to Doing Business with a Servant's Heart podcast. I'm your host today, Steve Ramona. I'm so happy to have you join us today. We dedicate this podcast for you to learn about doing business and living life with a servant's heart. What a great purpose, because you can truly make a difference if you work on being a servant every day and serving everybody that you run into. We also dedicated this show to motivate, inspire, and educate you to make an impact in your world. And audience, you're going to listen to this guest, you're going to be blown away, not only because of his energy, but his servant's heart. He's so humble. He's been so successful in his life, very young life, but he's still out serving and serving and serving. And I want you to think about today, as you're listening to my guest, how you're going to serve yourself today and how you're going to serve others today and what impact you create today. Let's not wait. And I get these messages all the time. Hey, I heard your podcast and I waited and a month went by. Well, that's okay. Start serving that day. But after you listen to my great guest, I want you to start serving any way you can. And today's episode is proudly sponsored by Pantheon Alliance, our incredible partner. Imagine being part of an exclusive community of high-income, successful business owners and entrepreneurs from very diverse industries. Together, they're building a thought leader platform to impact and change the world. Well, speaking of impact, my guest, again, like I said earlier, is going to blow you away because life has its ups and downs. He's had major successes and, he got COVID and his life was blown up, and he's going to talk a little bit about that. But he's doing great today. He's growing and helping others. So let's welcome to the show, Dwayne. Welcome.
How you doing, guys? Thanks for having me, Steve. I appreciate the introduction. And I appreciate what you're doing just for society and for people, man. This platform is amazing. I'm excited about being here and speaking with you.
Thank you so much. We had such a great talk in the green room, but let's start with this. You've been extremely successful in sports. How's that translate into your business now?
Man, just growing up as having an entrepreneurship mindset, there was so many transferable things just from, sports that transfer into business, just leadership skills, just that tenacity, that grit, that winning mindset. Those things just are pillars for me in my business now. So it's so many things that help me. And I feel like the sports has just been a plus for me in that space.
Yeah. So you ran into some obstacles. We talked in 2020 during COVID, you got COVID and a few other things happened. How did you overcome those obstacles to be just fired up today?
Man, to be honest, God, I'll be really, honest with you, God, trusting him more, leaning to him, not on my own understanding. He helped me through that time. 2020, it was a pivotal time for me. I signed the contract to go overseas to the Philippines. I had an agent, but due to COVID, it stopped everything. I was able to get paid half of my money, and the remaining was just, back to the club because it was COVID. I couldn't go. So it was a pivotal time. I was thinking, what's next? What do I do? On top of me having COVID, it was like I was just stuck in this bubble. But again, it gave me a lot of time to think, and I've always worked with multiple businesses, but it actually put me in position to where I am now. So it was a blessing.
Yeah, no, and it's hard because here your career, I'm going to go play in the Philippines, maybe someday play in the NBA. You've been thinking about that for 10 years probably as you're in high school and college, and all blows up on you and you still move forward. Personal life gets in the way with this business thing. It just does. There's always a crossover. So you had a personal situation happen for you about your dad. Talk about that, how you overcame that.
Oh, man. and I'll be so vulnerable with you guys. Just growing up in the Bronx alone, you're against odds, right? Just a poverty-stricken environment, and statistically, a lot of the kids there that they grow up without father figures in their life. So, for me, basketball was an outlet for me. It was a huge outlet. It was my escape from the world. Just it helped me release so many things. So it was a challenge. It was a challenge. It wasn't easy, but having great coaches, great people in my life to kind of mold me, and having sports, to teach me discipline, accountability, to do those things, it helped me become the man I am today. So
Powerful. Yeah, Bronx is, of course, I've never been there. I've been through there once, but it's I've heard stories, and of course, there's movies made about it, the Bronx Tales, and all the Italians and the African Macs and all that. What would you tell somebody today that's grown up in the same type of impoverished area, maybe no father, you didn't have a father, I believe he was in prison, and just you and your family? What's one piece of advice you can give them?
mm, so many pieces of advice I could give them, but I can tell them trust in themselves and believe.
Uh,
Trust in themselves and believe. Right? Trust their work and just have faith and believe. Believe that you could do anything that you put your mind to, and stay around good people. I know you said one piece, but there's so many things that I
yeah,
can
yeah, a few pieces. That's fine.
say.
No, it's
There's a few pieces. Stay around good people, good quality people,
yeah,
people of character, people of integrity. People that can actually pour into you and help you become a better version of yourself.
yeah.
I think it's a huge piece of advice just for any young kid that's facing challenges or just growing up in a poverty-stricken environment. We don't see that. We don't see any leaders. We don't see you know positive leaders, right? Because you become a product of your environment. So just staying around good people that can push you forward and see beyond your circumstances. I think that was something that I always did. I always was goal driven. I always seen beyond, my environment. And that's why I feel like it got me to where I am, even my success in sports and to my success in business.
I love this because what you just said. Now, I didn't grow up that way. I grew up, with my mother, father. I didn't have, it wasn't an impoverished, but those lessons could be for me as a 16-year-old, 12-year-old too. So, audience, I wanted to reach out because that's tough. I didn't have it tough, but the same lessons, mentors, listen to the right people, faith, and all that is so powerful. So that was awesome that you said that. What I'm learning from you, Dwayne, is you are a great teammate. I just feeling that. Why
Yeah.
were you such a great teammate?
With me being a point guard, I had to be the leader, right?
Ah,
So I had to be, the person that led the team. People looked at me as just someone that they trusted, right? That was just my energy and my vibrance on any team that I played on.
yeah,
So, I understood just leadership, right? Just being the head of the snake, right? You have to, know how to make tough decisions, know how to be even killed, even in pressure moments. So, leadership was so important for me. And, like I said, it translated into business. Those things are just so transferable. So,
and I love that you said that. I didn't expect that, but I'm glad you said leader because that's what I think sport. I became a better leader playing sports, and of course, the network that you're building of friends that you have. So, what did you learn as a point guard being the leader? What couple things you can share with the audience? Because you started your own company, you're an entrepreneur. What leadership tools did you bring to the business from the position?
and it was, decision making, right? Learning
Mm,
how to communicate effectively. Again, because how you deal with one player, you can't deal with the next player that way, right? So you have to learn how to, communicate to where everyone can understand you, but understand the goal, right? The mission, right? Because the overall goal is to win. But how we do that, we have to do that in sync. So I definitely feel communication, um, you know, being effective, being even killed, being, positive, even when things are hitting the fan. So it was, a lot of gems from just being a point guard that translate into my life and business.
decision making, communication, and mission are huge for leadership. and you get to have fun playing point guard, but what valuable lessons have you learned for today that's going to make you extremely successful that anybody can adopt and be part of their background?
Um,
Go ahead.
say it again.
I was just going to say, here's something you may never get asked, and maybe you will because I'm putting it out publicly.
Sure.
We lose in business, we lose in sports.
Okay.
How did you handle losing in sports, and how are you going to handle it with business?
You have to learn how to lose, right? And I don't feel like I never lose, I learn, right? So even when I lost games, the time just ran out, right? It's just pivoting and knowing how to adjust. So I never looked at it as, oh, I lost. And I don't dwell in that. It's okay, what can I learn from this? How can I be better when it's presented again? So, even in business, I, never say I lose, even when things don't go my way. It's okay, what can I learn from this and how can I grow from this?
Yeah.
So again, it goes back to what's the blessing, what's the lesson? So I don't even use the word lose, but I've learned how to lose through sports. But again, I'm so competitive and I have such a winning mindset to where my only outcome is winning. So when I lose, I win because I just learned. So
Yeah. I love the phrase that you said, Dwayne. I just love time just ran out. That's why we lost. In business audience, think about that. Your project, time just ran out. You lost 100,000, pivot, do something different. Just make that decision like you so well said. You have an incredible background. I'm going to dive deeper into it. Okay, so you grew up in the Bronx, didn't have a father, and praise the Lord, he's back out of jail. You have a time with him. But you decided after sports to get your master's in forensic psychology.
yeah.
What the heck? Talk about that. That's impressive.
Yeah. So, man, again, 2020, I was supposed to go overseas, but a friend of mine, he was a coach at a school, small school in Florida, and he asked me to come down and just help him with some coaching stuff. But I was able to get my master's. So, with me, I always love like the human brain, right? Just how it worked, just the mindset part, right? I always was a mindset person. So, just diving deeper into that forensic psychology space, it was just like cool. It was interesting to me. So that's why I leaned into it. I always loved books from like Jay Shetty, just powerful, like just impactful people. So that was just
Yeah.
something that was just interesting to me.
Audience, I'm going to say this. You now know his background. If he can go get his master's, he could have stopped at his graduate. He could have stopped at his BA or just his degree. I'm not saying you have to do it, but think about his background, what he just did. That's a servant's heart, because I think, now I don't want to say this for you, but is part of it you want to be able to serve more people with this once you get your master's?
I did. A lot of my decisions I've made outside of sports was how it can make me better so I can make other people better. It wasn't only for me. So I think that's a huge part of me, right? Like, how could I add value just to the world and to other people? So the more I know, the more I can help other people, the more I can do for them. So
Yeah.
definitely.
Now, you talked about mentors. Great word. I love that you said that earlier. I want to dive a little deeper into that. How to connect, because the audience needs to hear this, because everybody should have mentors. I have them. I know you have them. How did you find them, and what impact did they make?
Man, I found a lot of my mentors through just business, through connections, meeting people and building genuine relationships with them. You know, seeing, because I meet a ton of amazing people, right? But you link to the people that, you kind of, I like what that person stands for. I want to adopt that from them. So, my mentors are just great people of character who are servants as well, who have a passion for making the world a better place. Um, and they impact me and help me so much, just from the business aspect to my personal life. Holding me accountable to be a better person, teaching me things in business to, excel my business and make it just better and more profound. So having a mentor is just, it's amazing. It's a great thing, right? Just having someone that knows more than you, but, also cares about you on all levels, right? Not just business. It's not just transactional. They want the best for you, you know, on all facets. So having a mentor is super important. And
God.
once I got many, it changed, right? I have a business mentor. I have a workout mentor. I have a pastor who's a spiritual mentor for me. So, I have mentors that serve different purposes, but they all help me, and I love what they stand for, just as people first. So.
Yeah. Here's the ROI for mentorship for your mentors that I tell people, and I'm going to ask you. Sitting here today on my podcast, if you didn't have those mentors, would you be here today?
No, I won't. I won't at all. I wouldn't.
Wow.
To a degree, and I feel like I probably would be here, right? But I wouldn't be who I am right now, right?
Yeah.
Again,
yeah, it's
right?
powerful.
Yeah.
And I want people to hear that because, and people go, he could just say that. And that's your faith is not there yet, but it is a game changer. Like for you, and your background is even more so than mine, because you take this, and nothing against me or anybody that's in my position. You're just you had to work harder. You had to be more resilient.
Actually, yeah.
What makes you more resilient?
Man, just growing up in the Bronx.
Yeah.
You grow up when you grow up in a place to where you have to make it out, it puts that positive pressure on you, right? Just that resiliency that, this is the only way. Right? There's no plan B. There's no, I can lean on this person or that person, right? So you have to lean on yourself. So it just creates this grit, this tenacity that just instilled into you to where the only goal is to win. That's it.
Yeah. It sounds so uncomfortable.
It is.
What was uncomfortable for you? Well, that translates to, go ahead.
And I wouldn't say uncomfortable. Now I've learned how to just switch it to, okay, I see the positive in this. I see, the qualities that I've gained from this discomfort, right? I feel like no kid should have to feel those pressures. But again, when you go through it, you grow through it. You just kind of, you build it and you learn how to channel that resiliency, that grit into positive ways to where it's not destructive.
Yeah.
So
the great word you said was discomfort. It's probably better than uncomfortable, because you're going to have that in your business. You've already told me, and I've had in my business, we're entrepreneurs. We've had discomfort, and you kind of wake up in the middle of the night going, where's that next check coming? Where's the money coming? I got this happening. But you grow from that. How have you grown?
I mean, I grow just from having a positive mindset, right?
Yeah.
Just not, having faith in God, trusting Him that it's already written, right? Regardless of what, I trust Him so much, and I'm living righteous to where I know He'll figure it out. But what is He trying to also, how is He trying to build me in this moment, right? Yeah. Like, so, I try not to, worry or be a worrier. So I just, push through in a positive way. Keep a positive mindset. Don't lean to the, what's going to happen? What's this? And that's just normal, but just understand, you do the best you can do and show up righteously. It'll work out.
Amen. Woe is me doesn't work. People don't want to hear it. Your spirit doesn't want to hear it. Just, get that out. You've done a lot, and I've already said different things in your background, but the most exciting thing about you that I love is you work with youth. Yeah. You work with young people. Why is that such a passion for you?
Again, because I was once a young person, right? I was once someone who didn't have access to people like myself. So I feel like them seeing that, a walking billboard of, I can do it, will inspire them to do great things, right? To see a positive person and someone that comes from that environment that can understand you, but also do the right thing, right? So I feel like it's important to have that connection with them. I feel like, the next generation I care a lot about, not only my family, but just for all the youth, right? Because if I can create a leader, he can create a leader, right? He can create a community of leaders, right? And we can all be on one accord.
Man, if you do that, Dwayne, the world would be a better place. Just saying it. I'm putting it out there. Agree or disagree. It would be. Definitely. Yeah. So talk about your business. We got a few minutes here left. VP
Sure.
Business Solutions. We learned all about you and this incredible story you have. What have you done with that now with this business? What are you trying to accomplish? What's your mission?
So my mission again is to enhance, empower, and help other businesses scale and grow. That's our biggest focus. We are a consulting company, really boutique. Again, we worked with various companies. One of my success stories, Prestige Worldwide Sports Academy, which is a replica of IMG. It's based in Fort Lauderdale. They're doing really well. They're a post grad for any athlete that's looking to enhance in sports and anything,
Hmm.
football, basketball, golf, track. And I worked with them for some time, and I worked with trucking companies, industries in the cosmetology space, spas. So I've done well with, you know, just working with great companies.
What's the success story of the academy? You don't have to
Uh,
give numbers, but what have you seen their growth?
oh man, I seen the growth just, and the biggest success was just the happiness in the kids, right? Helping the owner build the foundation, but just not making transaction, right? Making the experience for them to where they can enjoy, they can grow, and they can actually play and compete at a high level, right?
Yeah.
Against other sports academies. So it was great. Like I said, I've helped them in so many ways, just being an AP guy. And when I mean AP all purpose, it was a time to where, I was speaking to parents, doing a bunch of things, but again, just consulting as well. But again, when you have a servant heart, you don't just do it for the money, right? You do it for
Amen.
the bigger purpose. So a lot of projects that I'm aligned with now is bigger than me, bigger.
Well, you just won the NBA championship because when you can change the culture of a business like you did, everything else just falls in place. It's the hardest thing to do in the business, especially a longer term business. So kudos to you and an audience. We're going to get his contact information. You're going to want to reach out to him. So let's end with a really fun question. We've talked serious, your background, and all the great things you've done. So you have a reservation at a restaurant. You have a table of four. You're going to sit obviously in one of the chairs. Who would you invite, dead or alive? Why
Wow,
would you invite them? And what food would you order?
man, or people. That's an interesting. That listen, you got me on my toes now.
There you go.
That's a
I'm putting your face playing D right now, and you got
yeah,
to
yeah,
work
yeah,
around
yeah,
it.
yeah. No. I got you. Listen, um, people. One person would definitely be Nipsey Hussle.
Funny
Um,
guy. Oh my God.
so one person would be Nipsey Hussle. Uh, um, hmm. This is a tough one. You got the audience. We may have to come back to this. This. I don't just because me. I don't just throw names just cause, right? I don't need my mom at the table. We speak all the
Yeah.
time.
Good point.
No, truly.
Who comes
No,
to your head?
yeah,
People,
no.
leaders,
I would
mentors.
say Nipsey Hussle, Ian DaCosta, Doug Cornfield, which is a mentor of mine, and
Yep.
Jarvis Buckman. He's also a mentor.
Wow. Very, very cool. See, but mentors are definitely that powerful. You want them at the table. So when are we eating?
I mean, I'm a pescatarian, so I do mostly fish. So I'll do some Chilean sea bass and a bunch of vegetables.
Look at that. That's a great meal. Holy mackerel. Well, that would be a fun table.
Definitely,
Dwayne, I got to
definitely.
tell you, I'm going to be very transparent, audience. This is his first podcast ever, and he hit it out of the park. Not a home run, but a grand slam. Because, your humbleness and your desire to serve people is so evident. I want to thank you for being an incredible guest. Even though it was your first time, you were just incredible. How can people reach out to you, connect with you?
I mean, you guys can reach out to me through email, my company's email, which is at info@vpbusinesssolutions.com. I'm on LinkedIn, Dwayne Powell. I'm on Instagram at Dwayne Powell _, or you can reach out to the company's Instagram at VP Business Solutions with the S at the end. But you guys reach out. Feel free to contact me. I'm here to help any small businesses, any medium-sized businesses, if they need any consultancy work. some executive strategist work, I'm here to help anyone scale and grow. So, Steve, thank
Absolutely.
you for having me. It was
God
an honor
bless.
being here. I appreciate just your energy, your vibe, the questions you ask, and I'm looking forward to us continue to build.
And one more thing, audience, before we leave. I called him Dwayne Poe. It's pow. Think of throwing a punch, right? Did I get it right?
Yeah, you got it
Okay,
correct.
good.
Wow.
So now you guys will never forget. Just watch this podcast. But of course, he'll answer anything because he's just a great guy. And also, to audience, do me a favor, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Listen to Dwayne a number of times. There are so many $1 million tips here. I mean, $1 million tips, like the 3 things: mission, communication, and decision making. You do that in your business, you're going to grow like he teaches businesses to do. Also, too, share with your family and friends. So subscribe, share the link to subscribe for them, because they may want to learn more about this, or any of my incredible guests that were just like Dwayne. Also comment on the YouTube channel as well. Critique the podcast, or if it's a comment for Dwayne, I'll get it to him. Any information you need or whatever, you can reach out to me. And as always, me and Dwayne, thank you so much for watching or listening to our podcast. We'll see you on the next episode of Doing Business with a Servant's Heart. Have a great day, everyone.